Hi everyone, happy Monday and welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about the newest fragrance releases that have been announced over this past week and evaluating whether or not we want to get them and why. This is a series that I like to call Smash or Pass on this channel, where we essentially do just that. We talk about the newest releases and evaluate what are our thoughts about them based off of the marketing that is provided to us at this particular time. So with that being said, if this is your first time watching this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I love fragrances. I talk about them here every single weekday, Monday through Friday. I also do additional content on TikTok, Instagram, and other social media platforms under the username ANECHKAFRAGRANCES. I do also have a podcast called The Fragrance Report. We do mostly fragrance history, but we also delve into other topics as well. So if you're ever curious about what I'm wearing at any particular time, what fragrances I'm really loving, that's also a really good podcast to go for because I usually recap my week and talk about my week fragrance-wise on that podcast. And if you're not on Spotify, I do publish full-length episodes on my YouTube channel for that podcast as well. So with that being said, we have a lot to cover, so let's get into it. First up, we have a new release from Clive Christian. This fragrance will be called L Red Tea, and this perfume will contain notes of lemon and bergamot at the top, a mid of vetiver and rubiose tea, and then a base of musk and sandalwood. We all know that tea is going to be a really prominent trend, especially moving forward in 2025. I actually did a video last week where I talked about a bunch of tea fragrances. So if you're interested in seeing some tea fragrances, many of which have already been released for quite some time, definitely check that out. But one of the things that really stands out to me about this tea trend is I really do think this is an opportunity for brands to experiment beyond just the generic cookie cutter green tea fragrances. Not that those fragrances are in any way bad, but I think that sometimes when it comes to certain trends, I really appreciate it when brands take the initiative to really expand and do something that people might not be expecting. So I really look forward to seeing other types of tea, not just green tea, like mint tea, fruit tea, this kind of tea. So I am excited about this launch. I think this will be really interesting. I personally have not really tried much from Clive Christian, but if you have, do let me know and we can chat about it in the comments. We also have a new release by Viktor and Rolf. This will be called Flower Bomb Extreme. I feel like I've spoken about this before, but I can't see it in the thumbnails of my previous videos. So if I've already spoken about this, I do apologize. But this is going to be a new fragrance. It's a flanker from their original Flower Bomb, and this will have top notes of tea leaves, bergamot, and raspberry, a heart of freesia, rose, jasmine, sambac absolute, and orange blossoms, and then a base of patchouli, vanilla bean, and Peruvian balm. Similarly to Clive Christian, we're also going to be seeing tea in this fragrance, but here they're being a little bit oblique. They're talking about tea leaves, so I mean, I'm assuming this might be like some kind of green tea accord, but this is like another instance of a more mainstream brand, a designer brand like Viktor and Rolf, really enjoying and going for this tea trend. So again, tea is going to be huge this year, and I'm glad to see that a lot of brands are following suit. I will say though, like I know that everyone has really just fallen in love with Viktor and Rolf over the years. It's a lot of people's like favorite fragrance brand. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm not super into with Viktor and Rolf. I've never really loved their fragrances, and to be honest, maybe it's because like I haven't really made the effort or taken the initiative to go out of my way to try them. So it's not that I say this with experience of trying Viktor and Rolf fragrances. I just have never really had too much of an interest in them, and that's just because I haven't really tried too much. Does that make any sense? I'm not negging the brand at all, but yeah, I mean, if you've tried Viktor and Rolf and you're excited about this release, do let me know as well. But we have a new fragrance release by YSL. This will be called Y Le Parfum, and this is going to be a new flanker of their 2021 fragrance, and it's going to have the face of Lenny Kravitz, so that's exciting. So we have top notes of ginger and bergamot, a heart of pine needle and fir balsam, and then a base of amber and patchouli. Um, oh my gosh, okay. Again, we always talk about how the marketing brief is so hilarious sometimes. Here, the marketing brief is Balsam for Absolute Lensy composition, addictive amber, resinous and fruity dimension, and a carnal depth. The earthy, woody undertones of patchouli essence, a signature rock and roll note. to provide more layers of elegance. Um, I genuinely want to know. Like, I genuinely want to know, does creating descriptions like this that sound absolutely ridiculous to us normal people, does that make the fragrance sell more? Or is that just something that they've been doing for the last like few decades and it seems to work, so they just keep on doing it? But I'm always like, whenever I see like marketing briefs that go so extra, I'm like, what is this for though? Like, are you expecting sales associates to be like the carnal depth? Like, I feel like that would have the opposite effect. Like, people would be walking the other direction. Okay, so we have a new fragrance by Valentina. So this is going to be called Valentina Eau de Parfum. Oh my gosh, is this a new fragrance? Oh wait, no, it's a flanker. It's a flanker. Okay. I was like I had high hopes. But this is going to be called a Valentina Eau de Parfum. And this is will be a dreamy, happy, romantic scent that draws inspiration from sweet summer mornings of the Roman gardens, and it invites the wearer to flaunt her unique femininity with a sassy touch. Okay, so we have top notes of bergamot, strawberry chord, a heart of jasmine, sambac, and patchouli accord, and then a base of vanilla and cedar essence. I'm so sorry. I'll stop talking like this. I promise. Or I can't make any promises about talking like this, but I'll do my very best to quit it. Y'all, I just read this marketing brief. We have to, let me read it to you. Okay. It begins with a vibrant blast of a delectable sweet and luscious strawberry accord, adding energy to the initial burst, brightened by the effervescence of Italian bergamot. The heart beats passionately with a heady bouquet of jasmine, the floral embodiment of femininity, elevated by the hypnotizing depth of patchouli. The base includes a mesmerizing gourmand trail of creamy vanilla and powdery cedarwood that leaves behind a lasting impression. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. You you know what's interesting? Okay, so like I'm in marketing, so I know how much so I kind of like know how much the marketing people at these big brands are getting paid. And it's like just imagine making six figures a year and like you're coming up with this. Is this why they need influencers to advertise their stuff? Oh my gosh, okay. Literally, who takes this seriously? I want to know. Um, yeah, I mean, like, I'm excited by the strawberry, I guess. But, like, yeah, I'll be trying all of these in store. Don't get me wrong. But if you're new here, hello, hi. I do have, like, a little bit of a rule when it comes to designer fragrances. Not like a rule, but why am I dying inside? Yeah, I have like a little bit of a criteria for myself when it comes to designer fragrances. I don't really like comment on them too much, or I don't really make a decision about whether or not I want to actually buy them or try them, because I will literally just go into the store and try them out in store, and that will be my decision making point. A lot of times in these videos with some of the niche fragrances, with some of the indie brands, the international brands, then I kind of have to be like, okay, yeah, I would order a sample of this or I would not. But yeah, with this particular one, I'm kind of like, I'll try it in store. By the way, guys, so one of Lancome's newest fragrances is available in sample form. You just have to fill out your information on one of their forms provided by Lancome, and they'll send you a free sample. So I did that so I could get a free sample. I will put the link for that form if I can find it down below. I'm not affiliated with Lancome whatsoever. They don't know who I am. But I just figured it's something that I filled out so I can get a free sample and I can pass that forward for you guys. Um, so anyway, then you can let me know what you think. But Navitus Parfums is releasing Auta Decker. So this is going to be a new oud fragrance with top notes of violet leaf, fig leaf, and tuberose, a base of earthy notes, oud, smoke, and leather, as well as Indian oud, cedar, and Laotian oud, and then a base of coffee, tobacco, vanilla, and oak moss. I am a little bit nervous about this specifically because of the oud and earthy notes. I feel like it just depends on the discretion of the creator whether or not something's going to be like a skinky oud or whether something's going to be like a very smooth, well-blended oud. I really like Navitus fragrances. I like a lot of what they have to offer, but I will say their fragrances, like they're not the most well-blended fragrances in the industry, and that is completely a generalization. I've chatted to so many people affiliated with Navitus, and they do some amazing work with their influencer collaborations. I love a lot of the influencers that they work with, but this specific thing, like, but I will say they're not known for creating like very seamless blends. Like you can tell if a fragrance has been blended a particular way. And I'm not a perfumer, so like if I'm using the wrong terminology here, forgive me. But you know, like when a fragrance uses like really hard to use notes, but it's doing it in like a very smooth and well blended way, and you can tell. And then some other fragrances, not so much. Well, Navitus is one of those brands that I'm kind of like, okay, sometimes they do really smooth and beautiful fragrances, sometimes they don't, so it's really a coin toss sometimes. So this is something I would want to sample first before trying, especially with coffee, earthy notes, oud, smoke, leather. Yeah, so yeah, I feel like this would be a tricky one. So what do you think of this? Are you excited about it? And if so, are you a fan of like earthy ouds? So we have a new release by Armaf. They're coming out with a Dubai chocolate fragrance. So this is inspired by the luxurious temptation of chocolate. And this is essentially going to be called Odyssey Dubai Chocolate. So this is going to be part of their Odyssey collection, which previously has included Odyssey Candy, Odyssey Lemony Fresh, and Odyssey Spectra. And then this year they are focusing on Dubai Chocolate, which as many of you know, kind of went viral over the last few months. So this is like a trend that has been going on for a long time. So it's only logical that a fragrance brand, especially a Middle Eastern one, would come out with a fragrance inspired by this dessert. So this particular fragrance will have notes of chocolate, pistachio, and warm spices. I do think they're being very tight-lipped with the notes here. I feel like they would put more notes. I mean, I expect vanilla will undoubtedly probably be in there, and maybe even patchouli at the base. But I mean, I'm theorizing, obviously. But yeah, so it's available quite soon apparently, and it's going to be available in the 100 milliliter bottle. I will say, just like completely right off the bat, I'm excited about this fragrance, like the notes, because I feel like they would be interesting. And you guys know that I can be a little bit judgmental with pistachio, but I'm excited about the Dubai chocolate pistachio. I feel like this will be like an interesting twist on pistachio that we haven't seen before. Let's be honest. But I'm not like too big of a fan of the packaging. It looks like a milk. It looks like a milk jug that has chocolate milk in it or something. I don't know. I'm not a fan. We have a new fragrance by Theodor Calas. We have Caramel Brownie, and this is going to be exclusive with UC, which I believe is a retailer in Scandinavia. And this fragrance will have notes of, let's see, cacao liqueur and rum, a heart of caramel, dulce de leche, butternuts, and then a base of Balinese vanilla. This sounds delicious. I don't know about you, but I love Theodor Calas gourmands. I haven't caught up with their gourmands that they've been releasing. Like, I think I need to go on their website and just like go ahead and just get all the fragrances, or at the very least get decants of all of them, because they have been coming out with so many interesting releases, and I have a ton of Theodor Calas fragrances already. If you remember, at one point, like I was just featuring them in like so many videos. I think I even did like a few dedicated videos to Theodor Calas because genuinely I love the way they do their gourmands. I think it's like very nuanced and quite special. So I'm excited about this. I don't know how readily available this will be here in the US, but this looks really interesting. There was a new launch for a perfume in Dubai, and this is from the brand Masters by Emirates Pride Perfumes, and this will be called the Vanilla Cloud Fairy. So they did do like a launch party for this in Dubai. I saw it online. And so I was kind of curious about the fragrance itself, but this perfume will have notes of, let's see, cardamom at the top, a mid of cacao and heliotrope, and then a base of vanilla and amber. That sounds really, really good. I know I'm saying that about a lot of the fragrances in this video, but that sounds quite delightful. I like how they're really going for the cardamom note at the top, especially. I feel like that's a really good move, and I just feel like cardamom, not gonna lie, doesn't often get a chance to shine. And I don't know about you, but I actually love to read like the Fragrantica reviews. So like the contributors to Fragrantica will often they get fragrances a ton. They get fragrances sent to them a ton of the time. But when they talk about a fragrance release, they will often review it in the article. And in this case, let's see who wrote this. Marketa Ribinova. She basically said it was a 10 out of 10. So that's promising. So let's see, what did she say? So she says it's a gem in the trendy world of vanilla and gourmand fragrances. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. Instead, it takes familiar notes and combines them so masterfully that they feel fresh and exciting. The balance between sweet, spicy, and powdery elements is executed with such precision that it's hard to imagine how it could be improved. Um, yeah, okay. I'm excited about this. Okay, so it's AED 465. So let's convert that into USD. That's 126 US dollars currently. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And 100 milliliters, that's a really good deal. Okay, that looks very, very tempting. Okay, oh yeah, so apparently her boyfriend smelled it and he thought it was a masculine fragrance. So this is going to be a very unisex fragrance. Okay, so this does look intriguing. I haven't heard too much about this brand. I mean, I don't really, I'm not like, okay, let's be honest. Sometimes as an American, when you look at the Middle Eastern brands, like it gets really, like the space gets really overtaken with brands like Latafa, Swiss Arabian, Armaf. So sometimes it's like difficult to look at what else the Middle East has to offer, like when it comes to fine Middle Eastern fragrance. And there are a ton of fine fragrances in the Middle Eastern category, but they don't often get as much airtime. But I'm really intrigued by this. I'm really intrigued by this. I'm going to check to see if the brand has a discovery set, and if so, I want it. Okay, so we have a new fragrance by Alexandra J. This perfume will feature the note of passion fruit, so that's exciting. So we have top notes of passion fruit, hot milk, matcha, and cinnamon, a heart of honey and heliotrope, and then a base of sandalwood, saffron, rum, smoked wood, and vanilla. This is available on their website, and the sizing is 100 milliliters for 145 euros. So this is going to be me being super picky. I love the notes. The notes sound amazing. I haven't actually sampled any fragrances from Alexandra J, so I can't speak to their general scent profiles. I can't speak to what they've done before, but I will say I'm not like a super fan of the bottle design. I know. Okay, it's not like a smash and pass video unless we talk about the bottle design. But I'm not like super big of a fan of this bottle design, so I think that's turning me off of this fragrance. It looks cheap. It looks cheap. It looks like a tin can that's been spray painted orange and had some gold items glued onto it. And that might sound a little bit harsh, but that's literally what it looks like. And some people might find this okay, but like for me, like I wouldn't really want to have 100 milliliters of this in my collection. And not gonna lie, I have gotten increasingly picky when it comes to like the fragrances that I put into my collection, because to be quite honest with you, I don't have infinite space, and so I want to have the fragrances in my collection that I really truly love, and that's not going to be every single fragrance out there, and I just like wanted to look nice, and again, it's not going to be every single fragrance out there, so as a result I do have to be rather picky. So that's my thoughts on this release. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Let me know, is there any release that you're particularly excited about? I think that there is a lot of really interesting items in this video that I'm particularly intrigued by, but let me know what stands out at you in particular, or if you don't like anything, let's also talk about that. But yeah, as always, thanks so much for watching till the end, and I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.